and welcome back to Bayou Time. Again, thanks to all our callers tonight. We're turning over to our flag segment, and again, that's Future Leaders of America's Golf. And introduce the panel to you once again on the left side of your screen, Mr. Vinny Cannata. He's a senior at Vanderbilt Catholic High School. In the middle is Miss Elise Trapp, and she is a junior at Vanderbilt Catholic High School. And on the right side of your screen is Miss Brittany Short, also a senior at Vanderbilt Catholic High School. Thank you all for joining us once again. It's good to see you again, Vinny. And Brittany and Elise, have y'all been on the show yet?
We have not.
Okay, well, welcome to Bayou Time. We look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And again, Vinny, it just so happens, coincidentally, everyone's from Vanderbilt here on the panel tonight, but FLAG is not just an organization made up of Vanderbilt Catholic students.
Correct. FLAG is a high school organization started outside of our actual high schools. It was kind of started over Facebook with a few messages. You know, after the oil spill, a lot of high school students were worried about, you know, how their parents, how their other relatives, how their friends' parents would survive, and with the oil industry hit so hard, and with the shrimping industry, and so as we started talking about the oil spill, about different issues that was brought about by it, we realized that this is something that we could share with other high school students, and so over time it's grown to be over Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche Parish, and we have nearly 900 members on our Facebook who are following some of the links and other articles that we're posting online, and so we basically want to spread the message, help other youth, help other high school students our age get involved civically, and stay up to date with the current events, and at the same time do as much as we can to kind of put the spotlight on the Gulf Coast and some of the challenges that we face in the future.
Well, very good, and I think it's also a way to create friendships from people just outside of your school as well. And Elise, in asking you, since joining FLAG, what would you say is, you know, some of FLAG's most, you know, the accomplishments that you've seen FLAG do since you've joined?
Well, we started a website that features weekly articles, videos, pictures, and we also recognize other organizations that we feel is doing a good job with their environment.
Okay.
And we were invited to speak at the EPA Regional Environmental Educators Roundtable, and that was in Dallas, Texas, and we had a presentation there. We were invited to apply for the President's Environmental Youth Award, which is the highest recognition a youth group can receive on environmental issues. We also had a FLAG leadership forum from private and public schools in Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish. We had nearly 70 students there and speakers as well.
Wow, that's excellent. So you know, gotten to travel to other parts of the country to spread word to people outside of South Louisiana, which I think is good, because we're always looking for people to respect our area, and I think it's good for us to start with the youth, those future leaders of our area. Vinny, what's some current information or current events that maybe you know, that FLAG's been talking about in your meetings lately?
Right. Well, in our last segment, we talked a little bit about the Oil Spill Commission report that was recently released, I'd say about 2 weeks ago, and we're starting to, you know, look into it and decipher it and try to understand it as best we can. Some of the suggestions that this commission, who was each member of the panel is presidentially appointed, and they all have gotten together. They have researched, you know, the oil spill disaster on the BP Deepwater Horizon, and they've also taken a lot of different perspectives and analyses of the future of offshore oil drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, and about how that might be affected with future regulations. And we actually got a chance to go to one of these meetings. It was the very first one, actually, in the Riverside Hotel in the Hilton in New Orleans. And so we got to hear a lot of different perspectives right at the very beginning, when kind of the attention to the situation in the Gulf of Mexico was at its highest. So we got to hear a lot of different perspectives, which was really great. But some of the recommendations they called for was raising oil spill liability caps, oil spill liability cap to past $75 million, and a lot of different, it's a general consensus that $75 million is a low, and that most companies could afford to raise it. But at the same time, there's a limit to how much you can raise it because of you don't want to drive out small and independent companies that they can't survive in the Gulf paying those kind of premiums for such an increased OSPO liability cap. The other thing they suggested was more power and more manpower and funding to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, Regulation and Enforcement, it used to be MMS, but it was changed after the spill to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management.
Right.
And that's under the Department of Interior.
And was that changed to trying to change their image because MMS was getting a lot of bad press?
right. At the same time, yes, it was. They're getting a lot of bad press, and at the same time, I think they wanted. They're trying to start over, kind of start fresh, a new focus on implementing safety measures, whereas the MMS had become lax, had become they got favors and different things like that. So they wanted to definitely hone in on safety. And in the Pacific region, they have about 5 inspectors every 23 production facilities, which is about a ratio of 1 to 5. And in the Gulf of Mexico, they only have 55 inspectors to inspect 3,000 offshore facilities, and so that's 1 inspector to every 54. Okay. And so there's a needed amount of more employees, more inspectors in the Bureau to inspect all these different these platforms. And at the same time, they want to raise the review period to issue new drilling permits to 90 days. And so we believe with added personnel in the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, that we produce 58,000 platforms with a 30-day approval waiting, 30-day approval review, and they want to triple that amount to 90 days. So we think with added personnel to inspect it, it's not how long. A lot of people say it's not how long you inspect something; it's the effectiveness of it. And so with an effective review, it doesn't need to be lifted to that long of a time period. And the Gulf of Mexico oil industry is one of the biggest producers of federal money. It's produced over $165 billion to the federal treasury since the 50s.
Wow. And
it's the second largest source of federal income after income taxes.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because this industry has produced so much in as far as federal money. It's like we're paying taxes twice almost.
Yeah, so you would think we would have more respect than what we get here in this region.
Right, or at least attention and a desire to get it right, find that balance between keeping the oil companies drilling, keeping our economy moving. At the same time, a respect for the environment and making sure that we can try to balance those two things out.
Well, good. Those seems like some interesting, and we'll come back to you, Vinny, and you can continue to discuss that. But I don't want Brittany to think she's being left out here because I haven't gotten to her yet. Brittany, since your involvement in FLAG, I guess you've also learned a lot of things in discussing some of these big events. But what's next for FLAG?
Well, next, we're partnering up with the Advanced Charter Schools in Baton Rouge, the association. And a lot of these kids at the charter schools are underprivileged and aren't really educated among, what's in their neighborhood. So we kind of want to start video chatting with them about how to be more responsible citizens and how to be, more civically prepared.
Okay. And when you say video chatting, I know what you mean, but just so all of our viewers know what you mean.
It's like a face-to-face chat that you can do online, and they can see you, you can see them, and you can communicate. Okay.
There's actually a very good, in the home of Terrebonne Public Library, there's a distance education room that we meet in every Monday. But that room is fully equipped for video conferencing, so that'd be a great place to do it, and that's available for the public too.
Okay, so Brittany, y'all meet, or are y'all planning to meet with the charter schools, online? Or are you going to take a trip there as well, or?
Well, right now we're just talking about meeting with them online, but maybe in the future we could make a trip up there. Okay.
We do have a service project planned with them as well that we're supposed to plan a service project with the kids. About 60 kids that they can get in their after-school program who go out on the Saturday, and we'll do some kind of environmental work. We don't know exactly. We're still in the planning stages, but we have agreed with them to do that. So we're really excited about that.
And when you all have a meeting, who's invited to attend your meeting?
Anyone who wants to come, anybody who wants to see what Flag's about.
Okay, all right. So, and as you mentioned, you have over 900 members on your Facebook account, and that's a way to follow. Where else can you go to get more information regarding Flag?
You can go to laflag.org, which is our website, and like I said, we have weekly articles, videos, and pictures. So.
Okay, all right. And I know, tonight we've been talking a lot about the conversation turned from education cuts at Nichols to, the president's State of the Union address. Obviously, I know you guys like to keep up with current events. Did y'all get together as a group and watch the State of the Union address, or is that something y'all going to be discussing in the future?
Well, the first meeting we ever had was to watch the the Oval Office address that the president made right after the oil spill.
Okay.
And we all got together at Pepper's Pizza.
All right.
And watched that. But for this one we didn't. For this one we kind of watched it. I told everyone about it. We watched it individually.
All right.
And we did notice that the president didn't specifically mention offshore drilling except for the subsidies to oil companies and energy companies. But he focused a lot of his attention on investing in cleaner energy. And from what we've read and from the scientists that we've researched and heard and read, most of them say that technology isn't going to be available for another 10, 15, 20 years, who knows. But for now, we aren't at the stage yet where we can run an 18-wheeler off of wind power.
Right.
But it's a goal that the president set. But as of right now, the oil industry in the Gulf of Mexico is very important still to the nation.
Okay, and let me ask you, because I know y'all have put on some conferences in the past, Brittany or Vinny, whoever knows, are y'all planning to put on more conferences in the future?
Yes, we would like to make more of the community involved and let the kids know, like our age, that it's not just the adults who can have a say. We would like our voice to be heard too.
That's right.
And we have started planning a March conference. We already have one speaker that we've gotten confirmation from who will as of right now be able to attend. His name is John Hankinson, and he's the executive director of the Gulf Coast Ecosystem Restoration Task Force, which is an entity set up by the president through an executive order. Okay. And so he works in the EPA's office in Washington, D.C., and his task force is in charge of intergovernment. They have like over 10 federal departments within his task force. And so he coordinates intergovernmental efforts. He's supposed to give the president a one-year restoration plan for the Gulf of Mexico, and he's supposed to kind of coordinate with the locals, people down here. And okay. So we're really excited that he accepted our invitation to speak, and we think he'll give a very unique view on where the Gulf Coast can go from here.
Yeah, well, good. I think that's probably something that the station here would like to cover, and we're glad you were able to secure someone of that magnitude to come down and speak with.
We're very excited about it.
Yeah. As we about wrap up, again, the contact information, if somebody wants to join Flag, what ages of, are y'all looking, what grade level do you ask people to be in to join? Does it matter?
No specific grade level. Anybody is welcome at any time, and we have our Monday meetings, and they're openly invited. We encourage them to come.
All right.
7 p.m. at the Terrebonne Parish Public Library. You can email us at info@laflag.org, and we have, like I said, our Facebook page, and our website is www.laflag.org. And as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, all of us are going to be, voting within 5 years. All of us are going to be either going to college or into the workforce. And so we're really excited to kind of learn as much as we can civically to prepare us for that.
Yeah, especially when you go into college and you start meeting people from around the nation and the world, really. You'll be able to talk and educate them on the issues affecting us. Very good organization, guys. We appreciate the update. We wish you all the best, and anything we can do to help you out, feel free to ask, okay?
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, Vinny, that's Vinny, Elise, and Brittany for you. Representing Flag. What we'll do is we'll take a final break, at least for this segment of Bayou Time, and turn it over to sports for our sports segment. David Miller's here. Nichols State had a big basketball game last night at Stoford Gym. I'll let him tell you a little bit about that. The Hornets also continued on their winning ways, so a lot to talk about with sports. David Miller will be here right after the break.